Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. Now, this is the Dregoth. It was designed by Jason Dixon. This is a 10-ply trailer tire. It's got about 15 plugs in it, and it's wrecked. So I'm going to use it to cut it up, but this thing is no joke, son. Now listen. The Dregoth was designed by Jason Dixon. It was made by Tuff Gear. It is an absolute beast. SK85 steel. These are custom handle scales from Lucas Carroll. Carroll's Custom Scales. And you can see, guys, I have beat the hell out of this thing. I stropped it pretty good before we did this video. This is one of my favorite all-time big knives. I mean, no category. Well, yeah, it is a category. It's big knives. This is in my top 3. I love it. And we're going to talk about why. Let's go get it. Now, real quick, we'll get some things ready and we'll talk about the Dregoth until we can get over to our table and do some measurements and do some different shit. Here's some extension cord. The Dregoth had a drop. I can't remember, maybe last year early or something like that. But it's one of my favorites. And one thing I wanted to kind of explain to you guys is this. We look at knives a couple of different ways on this channel. I'm not always interested in the latest, greatest. I'm hoping Tuff Gear does another drop of these, but I'm showing it because it is one of my favorites. I use it a lot, and I want to show you some of the versatility of it. Again, custom scales from Carroll's Custom Scales. Absolutely love the thing. Jason Dixon's the designer. Let's go get some measurements and take a look, and let's just see what we can do with it. All right, guys, so we're doing this one in the moment, meaning there's no narration. Now, when Tuff Gear sends me these knives, this is how they send them, and this is what I prefer because, to be honest with you, I take them and I put it between my belt and my waist. Now, I cinch my belt up, so it might look stupid right here. I tuck it down in, then cinch my belt up. Y'all get the idea. I do that because that's my preferred method of carry. They do a good job. Before we delve too far in, let's get some overall measurements. I like measuring them myself. Not that, you know, they do them wrong. I prefer doing that. Now, this is, let's see, overall length is right at 15 3/8. So you see how I measure it from the point of the pommel to the tip. We'll turn this around too so I can get a little better angle on it. Now, I'm measuring to right here, the top. I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't care. If we do it this way, it's 9 1/8 on the blade length, and then 8 7/8 on the cutting edge. Obviously, we have a tracker style. The blade width is going to be 2 3/4 right in there, and that's what I'm considering blade width. The blade stock, we'll come back here and we'll just find a good spot to start. It's going to be right at 1/4 inch. So blade stock's right at 1/4. Right here, it's still 1/4 right there. And then it dissipates as we go up. And when we get to right here, we're at 1/8. Now, it tapers on down. You guys can see that. The inner grip on this bad boy, just like this, we're coming to the inside, is 4 3/8. So damn near any hand on the planet, and I'm measuring from here to here. We're using this. If you needed this, you can do like that for whip, and we'll chop some with it. It has a choil there. Handle thickness. Now, I will say this for Mr. Vic. He stays pretty damn consistent on his handle thickness, especially here at the palm swell. It's a little over 1 inch. So you've got a healthy handle that you can grab on. We've got some nice deep fullers on both sides. If you wanted to do a front lashing chopper style, you could, or rear, or if you wanted to take the scales off and make some kind of spear. It would be a big sumbitch, so it would probably be a thruster, something like that. Now, I have cut and cut and cut and cut and cut with this thing. Let's see if it's got enough in it to cut this right here. And I'll be honest with y'all, this right here is one of the most aggravating ways to cut this stuff. I'd prefer, let me just back up here. and cut it like that. We'll get it in that little swallow there. The thing with this stuff, guys, is once you get it going, you can just apply some pressure, but it is a tough, and I mean tough, cutting medium, especially for a blade as stout as the Dregoth. And because we're doing it in the moment, we're just going to kind of do it as we go. Here, let's see. There we go. Open it up a little bit, and we should be a little more successful. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. There it is. Yes, like that. And I'm going to show you all the thickness of this once we get it in there. There it is. For a blade that's over a year old, that ain't bad. Now, I know it took a minute. I'm not pretending it didn't, but that is a difficult cutting medium. And bear in mind too, we just cut the shit out of a tire. Makes short work of the extension cord. I get some comments on the, oh, don't cut extension cord. Well, you also don't have a knife channel. How about that? That help you? The extension cord comes from my previous work history. Plus, I always like to think, you know, everybody wants to talk about that mythical survival suit. Well, what if you get in a situation where you've got to cut some cord? It might not be an extension cord. You like to know that it could do it. This thing just kind of goes through it quickly. Jason designed this thing for fun, and it's a blast, and that's what we're going to do. Let's go over here and keep banging away with it and see. If you don't first succeed, try again. That thing's about had the lick, son. The thing that I really like about a big knife, if I've got like a choil, is having that little bit of recurve, and I'll show you why. Just put it in there, and it's I call it a cheating hack, but it's not. It can make some really nice curls for you, really nice feather sticks, and we're moving our way onto a spear point. Just like that. Now, what I was going to say too, guys, about this knife, not every knife I show, some of them, like when they're coming out with designs, I want to give you a good look at it. This one is one of my favorites. So I'm showing you because I like the knife, if that makes sense. Fits good in my hand. I like the way it feels. I like the way it works. I use it a lot. I enjoy it a lot. So this one isn't so much, hey, I hope you like it. It's more, this is the style I like. Everybody knows I like some crazy stuff. Love this thing. Let's keep going. Now, guys, one of the goals for this weekend especially, I've started doing more and more reviews and things like that over at the studio at Kirk's. So I need to start getting this ready to disassemble and tear down. And y'all are already, you know, you're seeing it already. But what I need to do is get a lot of this wood processed up. So I figured this will be a good way to do it with the Dregoth. I'll probably take some of it to Kirk's and start burning it up. And give my wife her yard back, which I'm sure she would appreciate. Now, while I don't actually do a lot of batoning in real life, one of the absolute beauties of Work Tuff gear is they are made to put in work. They're made for work. That's why they make them. They make them tough. They're going to withstand the test of time. Now, if you try to break it, I'm sure you can. I could. I mean, but that's not the point of my channel. I'm not taking shots there. Like, I encourage you to watch Joe X's channel with the Work Tough gear. And understand that, you know, a 5 or 10 minute video of him beating the absolute dog shit out of one is probably a couple hours. Plus, you need all kind of, I want you to get every kind of view on the Work Tough gear you can. My channel is more, with Work Tough gear, I do go harder than I do on other knives. But some of that's because they send them to me to check out. So I feel like I owe it to you guys to give them a good, fair, honest look. Let's see what we can do here. And again, Jason designed this thing for fun. And fun to me with a knife is just absolutely going in the woods, throwing it, going ape shit, processing firewood, chopping, banging, having fun. And you can absolutely do that with the Dregoth. Let's process this thing up here. While we're here, we might as well, huh? This was the original, well, it wasn't the original, it was the stump. It's some of that old Virginia red oak. And we're not having any problems with the Dregoth. This will help for a good fire this weekend. I think we're supposed to have a little bit of cooler temperatures come through on Sunday, which will probably be a good day to fire up the fire bucket, fire barrel, and get that thing rolling. Because I think, you know, the stump over here is done. And like I said, we need to give Mama her yard back. Let's do a couple more pieces. I'll give you a good look at the edge. See if y'all can see that. All right, guys, let me give you a couple final thoughts. Again, this is a knife that's one of my favorites. And we've got the AT all dropping about mid-March, and as that drop date gets closer, I'll do a video on it. But I wanted just to kind of go back because I do enjoy this knife. I enjoy banging. It's a tank. My real feelings on it is this. It's one of the most fun knives that I have. I can come out here, I can throw it, I can chop, I can do whatever I want to do with it. Now, you've seen from the Sandblast Hose test, it'll cut it, it's sharp. I'm thinking about thinning out in here and making this like smaller fine work purpose. Keep this up here where it's at for chopping and batoning. Other than that, and I mean the knife's over a year old, it will strike a ferro rod, and it's SK85, so it's easy to sharpen and maintain. I love it, I carry it, I play with it. The Dregoth, listen, before we get finished, there was a time in this country where 22 vets a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. They really are. And numbers vary from different region to region, holidays, weekends, etc. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. Guys, I back the blue. It's not always popular, especially in this day and age. That's why I don't just shove it down your throat. Something I believe in, something I believe in strongly, and there's a lot of reasons for that. The whole back the blue till it happens to you, dude. It's happened to me more than it'll happen to most. I stand where I stand on it. I don't ask you to. Finally, if you are an addict, and Lord knows I am, never quit quitting. Well, the Dregoth, I'm hoping they do another run of these. I really, really am. It's that much fun. I'm Scab. You're not. Man, I hope y'all have a great one. I'm gone, son.